Today I decided to change up things a little bit in Studio Green because I wasn't really satisfied with the look or that our videos look exactly the same every single time. So we are having this fireside chat today with Moderate Sales Pros, and I decided to adjust and relight and do a lot of things in this set and just not use the stage lights at all. So in this scene, normally this is what we use for like green screens and training materials, but those angles are currently blocked off, so those cameras are not even being used. The green screen is totally off. The tele close-up is only used because the mic goes through it. And then we have our side tracking shot that's on like a gimbal that you can use for tracking and moving around. But now we're just using it locked down. And what we did is I actually just added a 120D on the right side. That's the one that's keying the face. And then we have a big like 6x6 on the left that fills up this side. On the back we have two pink lights on the floor that does match the blackboard. And what we also have is another light with barn doors that's really outside the right here that lights up this side. So it's very controlled. It only does, push light over here. Otherwise that, back wall would be totally just black. Like you wouldn't see anything. So we came up with this contrasty look, and I think it does look good. It does pop. The suit and everything looks really good. And it just, even the contrast is significantly better looking than what we normally get with our standard studio look. And I also forgot to mention that we do have a hair light. So there's a hair light back here up high that shines to this side of the hair and the head. That's also a 120D, but we have like an orange like gel in front of the Fresnel to make it look like it's like a bicolor light, so we can do like 3200 Kelvin. We started with turning all the lights off. We have studio lights in here, but we decided not to use them. So this whole setup is specifically lit for this fireside chat. And the only thing we did is we used this 120D that has the light dome 2 on it with the grid that's very like focused to the chair and the talent. We used this big reflector because the contrast was too great, so we made it fill up the other side a little bit more. And we also added this other 120D that acts as the hair light, and all we did, we just put the Fresnel on it and used this orange like cover that acts as a gel essentially, because we wanted to have that warm look on the side of the talent's face. And the talent is looking at this TV, and I know it's probably going to be kind of hard to see that, but the talent is looking at this TV. This is where the guest is, so they're talking to each other. The camera is positioned right in front of it, so it looks like they're looking at each other. This camera is an A7SIII with the 50 1.8 lens, and this feeds into our production board upstairs where I started. That also runs the audio through everything, and that's just being captured by a cam link that leads into the computer where we join whatever platform they're using. Now that I took the talent spot, this is how we lit this set. This light is directly hitting me and the desk where we have some props and obviously branding. We have the fill light filling myself up here on the right, and then you can also see the orange on my hair on the side of my face that creates a little bit sharper shape that separates me from the background. And if you look at the background, we did quite a lot actually, because if there was no light in here, this would be totally pitch black. You wouldn't see anything. So we have two pink lights that match the bottom row of that chalkboard sign that JP made, who's actually rolling the camera for me. And then we used another light. This is a Godox 60 something. It's just a daylight balanced light, but the purpose of this is, you can stay there. I want to turn it off to show what it looks like. Basically, this one just has a barn door on it to create a streak of light on the sign. You can kind of see the shadow of my hand. And if I turn it off, you see how big the difference is. Specifically when you're looking at the set camera, because now this thing just blends in with pink and there's literally no way to actually like read what's on it. But as soon as we turn this light on, it pops out. Like you can actually see it behind the talent on the main camera angle, And I'm gonna put some clips up of that from the actual camera to show you what that looks like, because it does make a big difference. We also have this plant because I kind of like the shadows that this is casting on the board, just to create a little bit of a texture. We're going to transition from this client to this client, and I'm going to turn on the lights so you guys can see what the normal situation looks like, because this is what the studio looks like when we have all the normal house lights on, when we actually do green screen or we just shoot on here. It's obviously a very sterile and non-contrasty look, and we're gonna do something different in this shot too, but the setup changes significantly. We're not using that camera at all. We're using this camera that's on this big 24-inch teleprompter, and we're using that one that's also a 24-inch teleprompter. They're both A7SIIIs. This one has the 85. This one has the 70-200. And this one is on actually dolly tracks. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out right here and then rotate everything towards that wall. And we're going to try to do a shot where we do training that's facing that brick wall only. And maybe the bookshelf, but it doesn't actually have to be in the bookshelf. So maybe that way. And we're going to run the scripts on this. We're going to run the scripts on both and go through these 5 quick videos that we have to shoot today. And JP is helping with the setup. He's the one who shot the beginning of this video. We're going to have to break all this down and at least just pack it away to the left. We also covered the green screen with these black sound blankets and reflectors because we didn't want any green spill on this previous shoot. It's not really going to affect anything on the next one, so all we're going to do is literally just move all the gear to the left here where it's not in our way. This is what we came up with for this shoot. We're going to be talking into that teleprompter, and we have a B camera right next to it that you can barely see. So this is a 70-200 at 70, and this is an 85. I am recording on both. I should be able to switch to this. Talent's spot is roughly about here, and he's a little shorter. We haven't really tested it, but this is where he's going to be reading. If there's a mistake and he picks it up, we have the ability to switch to this camera and then just go do like a J cut or whatever to go back to this. This is not live, this is post-produced, and I do have tentacle syncs. So the reason, you know, my audio is working with these is all of these cameras have tentacle syncs times code, and we're shooting with tentacle sync track E's. I'm wearing one, and here's the second one that's basically gonna be for the talent. And our lighting situation is the same. We do have these on for ambient because we want a little bit higher key look, but we have this 120D. We have a reflector for a gown light to fill up, you know, your neck shadows. We haven't finished with the shoot yesterday, so I'm picking up the next morning. We left everything exactly where it was because we wanted to have the exact same look. So no cameras, no lights, nothing moved. All I gotta do is turn everything on basically to get lighting and cameras going. So you have this one light in the back. That's very easy to turn on. That just creates this pop. And after I'm done, this is actually gonna be turned off. I think yesterday we just had those lights on, and those I am gonna turn back on. But for now, let's just hit all the specific lights that are separate, and probably we can get the teleprompters going. Those are important for this shoot. And let's see, we'll have this light, and already looking better. But what I'm gonna do is go here and then turn off the first set. So this is pretty dark. I can turn on this set, which is the set on the back, and I can turn on this set, which I believe was on. Actually, no, I don't think that was on. I'm gonna actually turn this back off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. It was just this set because the talent sits in this box right here, and the teleprompter and the B cam lives over there. And we do have essentially our key coming from this way, our hair light, and our background That's also lit. The only thing I gotta do is plug those back in. These are not really fancy lights, so the best way to deal with them is literally just power, but then they reset to white, so you have to click this button to switch to like color mode. And then we got color. We have our color spill with the barn doors and our talent lighting. Yeah, that should be good. Let me just start it. And then I have to run the teleprompter, trace monitoring cameras. The script is loaded.
All right.
Yeah, so all those cameras are rolling over there.
Yeah, I'm just making. Okay.
So basically we are good to go.
Ready?
Action.
Welcome to Fanatical Prospecting Bootcamp. I'm so glad you joined us. Hi, I'm Jeb Blunt, founder and CEO of Sales Gravy and author of the #1 bestseller, Fanatical Prospecting. In this virtual bootcamp, you'll attend 5 live sessions taught by one of our certified trainers and coaches.
So we're on the end of day 2. We ended up shooting 4 individual projects in the course of these 2 days. There was a 1 client project that split over 2 days because the scripts were not ready, but we also had the Fireside chat on the first day, and then we ended up doing 4 individual social media and micro content that was really close to the scripted ones. So we re-rolled it, and we also had to shoot a video that replaces an old content piece on our website that just has incorrect information. So we figured we just squeeze everything into it because we have all this built. And because we were able to roll really fast with time code, we didn't really have to do a lot of resets and messing around. I'm gonna be able to sync this whole thing in about 10 minutes and hand it off to the editor. And we'll just have to break all this down and pack it away for next week.